Recently, I decided I wanted to get as many platinum trophies as possible. So I played Spyro 1 and realized, wow, this is a whole lot of fun. So we're going to keep going and doing harder and harder platinums as we go. So in today's video, not much harder, but we're doing Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. Taking a look at the trophy guide here, we've got a 3 out of 10 on difficulty, 1 single playthrough to finish it, and 8 hours is the estimated completion time. So there is one time limited challenge, that's hypersonic, which you can complete the challenge in game without getting the trophy to pop, in which case you might have to reset the level. A couple labeled as unmissable, and there are no missable trophies in the Spyro games per usual because all the levels are thankfully replayable. We have a few collectible based trophies, and we do have one labeled as buggy. I haven't had any issues with that one through my playthrough either. So with that being said, let's head off to stage 1. Play and enjoy the game. Spyro and Sparks are on their way to take a vacation at Dragon Shores when they're instead warped to a mystery world we'll come to know as Avalar. Avalar is being overthrown by Ripto and his crew. Alora, Hunter, and the Professor brought Spyro here to take down Ripto and reclaim Avalar. To do this, we need to collect every talisman and some orbs along the way. Ripto's Rage trophies are about as straightforward as the first game, so our process is going to look pretty similar. We're going to collect everything we can as we go. However, this game does require some backtracking due to some new abilities that you acquire through each of the homeworlds. Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage has 3 hub worlds. However, the first and third are about the same amount of levels, and the second is a massive one. And just like that, folks, we're transported into Glimmer, which is going to be the first level in Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. And funnily enough, it's going to be the first level we actually have to return to because we don't have an ability that we need to complete it 100%. It's the ability to climb. There's a ladder in this level that takes you to a little mini game challenge for an orb. So for that reason, we're not going to focus too much on the collectibles here until we come back to 100% it later. Alright, and now once we get enough gems, we'll pay money bags to open the bridge, make our way over to Twitchy the Gem Cutter, who is going to give us our very first talisman, and we'll be able to go to Summer Home.
Magic portal next to me will take you to Summer Forest, one of the home worlds of Avalar.
Now in a cutscene, we will see Ripto taking control of Summer Forest by tossing money bags out of the castle. Now we're spawned into Summer Forest, and we're going to just kind of go around collecting some gems, some extra lives, other things. And we're going to come across Hunter up here on a platform, and it's just kind of a basic gliding tutorial. Gliding, they have added the hover mechanic in this game, which makes gliding further a little bit easier. But you're going to get an orb here, and that'll be our first trophy of Spyro 2. Now, once we're done collecting things in Summer Forest for the time being, we're going to enter our first regular level, Colossus, where we're actually going to get a trophy almost as soon as we spawn in. We're going to ram a ram with our horns, and that's going to get us the Using Your Head trophy. Colossus itself is one of my favorite levels from Spyro 2 because not only do you get to play hockey in it, you also get to squash a Yeti. Once we're back in Summer Forest, we are going to talk to Moneybags, and we are going to be able to buy the ability to swim. And this will help us here in our next level, Idle Springs, where now we are going to be doing an orb challenge here, and there is the Bad Sushi trophy.
I'll meet you over.
Now here in Summer Forest, once again, the rest of the homeworld is going to be underwater here into the castle. And now we'll make our way into our first fully underwater level, Aquaria Towers. Now once you've completed the level, you're going to get access to this flame power-up. It is limited, but you're going to use that to go around and destroy every single one of these metal sharks, which are indestructible otherwise, and that'll get another trophy for us. Now we're going to make our way to Hurricos, which is a electrical gear kind of base level ran by the gearheads and their robots. You're eventually going to find every one of the robots, and for destroying all of them, you're going to get a trophy called Exterminate. Now, the last of our regular levels here in Summer Forest is Sunny Beach, which is, once again, another level we have to come back to, unfortunately, so don't worry too much about getting all the collectibles here. We will come back once we've got that ability to climb. Alright, and everybody's favorite from the first game, our Speedway levels are back. Here on Ocean Speedway, there's actually a crowd over here that you're going to want to land, and you're going to flame every single one of the mermaid fish kind of people things, and that'll get you a trophy.
Let's see if you're as good.
So now we're going to be entering our very first boss, and I will say one thing Spyro 2 stepped up was its boss game for sure. The first game bosses were a joke. We're going to be headed to Crush's dungeon, and there is a trophy here for defeating Crush without defeating any fodder, which are the sheep that give you health around the arena. Crush has 3 main attacks. One of them is this light blue floor projectile that you jump to avoid. The second is a red fireball that you kind of have to charge and avoid. And the third attack he has is this ground pound after you damage him, which will cause rocks to fall from the ceiling. You just have to stay away from him for. Now once you've flamed him between attack transitions enough times without killing any fodder, you are going to get that trophy to pop, and we are through with Summer Forest. Now while we beat Summer Forest, we do still have to go back and get some cleanup in, so let's go do that now and finish off those levels we couldn't before. So first we have to go down to Moneybags once again, and this time we're going to buy the ability to climb and immediately go back to those worlds that we need to finish up. So once we go back to Glimmer, there's an outdoor section at the end as well where you need this Superfly power up, and you are able to get the Hypersonic Trophy. This is the one that's listed as time limited. You have to get all of these lamps lit in under 15 seconds, which is extremely easy. Now, back on Sunny Beach, there is a ladder at the end of the level that's going to take you to a chef who is trying to cook the local turtles and turn them into a stew. Your objective here is just to charging them is better than flaming them, at least, back into the water in the corner of the arena, and that is going to get you a trophy once you've done the second level of it. There are 2 orbs for it. And now that we're done with Summer Forest officially, we can go into Autumn Plains and start our adventures here. And remember, in the intro I did say that this one is a little different than the other 2 hub worlds. That's because this one actually has 12 total levels to be completed. So while we're exploring around the Autumn Plains world, there's this hidden wall back in the castle portion above the climbing section. Now, once you see this whirlwind and you go up here, there's going to be a little flat area with a second whirlwind that you're going to want to hit. This is going to take you to the very tippy top of the castle. Grab the gems up here, and you're going to see a faraway island. If you get a jump glide in, you'll be able to make it down there, and there's actually going to be an orb right down here that will get us a trophy. Now into our first level of Autumn Plains. We're going to go to Skelos Badlands. Here there's a trophy for not touching any of the lava on the floor, and I like to do that just on its own attempt before I do any of the collectibles or anything on the level. And there it is. Once you've hit the portal, that trophy will pop. Breeze Harbor is infamous for one of the most annoying orb challenges in the entirety of Spyro 2. Trouble with the trolley, you'll hear that in your nightmares after this one. Thankfully, I actually got it done on my first attempt in this playthrough.
Great work, Spyro. Trouble with the trolley, eh?
Alright, so here in Zephyr, there is a cannon, and what you're going to want to do is shoot into that wall to destroy it, and then destroy the bird behind it, and that will get you a trophy. Now we're here in Crystal Glacier, where the objective to get through the level is thawing all the ice builders that have been frozen, and they will help you get different places. Later on, you'll run into this super flight power-up, and there are these little things called Draklings. You need to flame all 18 of them without running out of super flight in order to get the trophy Bug Control.
You have saved us all from a grisly
Now on to the first of the 2 different speedways in Autumn Plains, Metro Speedway. Here our trophy objective is to flame all the pigeons first, and just want to make sure you do all 8 of them first before doing anything else, and that will be a trophy. Now we find ourselves in Scorch, where we're going to be helping, for copyright reasons, Handel and Greta get through the level, and at the end we're going to be given a flame power up, and we need to use this to knock the genie Bob off the top of the 3 towers that we turned on during the level. Now once you get Bob down, you have to go talk to him, and he is going to throw some bombs at you while you chase him back to Handel at the end of the level, and you have to do this without getting hit by any of his bombs. It's kind of difficult, but if you go and use your surroundings and jump around, it is a lot easier, and just kind of play a little passive. Let things blow up and all that. But once you finally get done with the third without getting hit, that trophy will pop and it will feel great.
Great job, Agent Spyro.
In Magma Cone, you're going to find a mini game here with Hunter, and this trophy is it's not buggy, but it's kind of timing wise. You have to steal one of these crystal pop-ups from Hunter, so just kind of keep chasing him around and going after the ones he's going for, and eventually you'll get this one to pop. Now, in Shady Oasis, you will actually have to come back and finish this level later. You do need the head bash technique we learn in Winter Tundra to come back and finish it. However, you can do the trophy real quick, which is called Dry Foot, and it's similar to Skelos Badlands for going through the full level without touching the lava. Now we are in Icy Speedway, the second speedway here in Autumn Plains. And Flying High is a trophy for defeating these snowmobiles before you take out their hang gliders. Alright, and we're finally ready to take on Gulp. We've got every talisman from Autumn Plains. Now, Gulp's boss fight is a little more difficult. So Hunter will be dropping different kinds of weapons for you to use against Gulp during the fight because your normal Flame Breath can't hurt him. And once again, we have the challenge and the trophy for not killing any fodder during the fight. Now, this is a little more difficult because this boss fight is a little harder. Gulp's main attack is the lasers he keeps on his shoulders, which he shoots these bombs at you, and as the fight progresses, he'll shoot more and more of them. Now, once you're able to get it, that trophy will pop, and we are headed to Winter Tundra, the final homeworld in Spyro 2. Now, our first thing to do in this homeworld is we're going to go up to Moneybags and, of course, buy the head bash technique, so that way we can go back and clean up World 2. So once you've gone back and you've cleaned up both Fracture Hills and Shady Oasis for those head bash things, you come back to Winter Tundra and head bash all the rocks, you're going to get a trophy. So our first level in the Winter Tundra homeworld is going to be Cloudy Temples. It has a trophy that is going to require you to go through the entirety of the level without killing any sheep. I actually don't know which ones it refers to, so I just go through without killing a single one and only killing the wizards first, and then coming back and doing a second playthrough for all the collectibles later. And once you finally get to the end of the level, it will pop as soon as you get that orb from Bartle the Wizard. Mystic Marsh is probably one of my favorite levels throughout Spyro 2. I just really like the colors of the level, the enemies, and even the orb challenges are a lot of fun. Now, our trophy here is for charging through every single one of the monkeys, which is a bit of a pain because they're kind of annoying to not flame. But once you hit the last one, that trophy will pop. Robotica Farms, our second level here in Winter Tundra, is going to introduce us to some robot bugs all across the world. And there are Robo Bees here, and we need to hit them with these yellow rocks across the level. And once you hit the last one of them with the rock, it will give you the Spitball Trophy. Now we make our way to Metropolis, a world full of space cows and space pigs, and of course it wouldn't be a Metropolis if we didn't have a space ox as well. The objective here is to just destroy the ox without taking any damage. If you do take damage, you can just leave the level and reset, which I had to do a couple times, but once you do beat it, the Ollie Oxenfree will pop.
Excellent work, Dragon. We can now do.
Alright, so now we can make our way to the Speedway level. Here on Canyon Speedway, we can get the Buggin' Out trophy by just charging through 5 of the buggies on the road, which I find is the quicker way to take care of them anyway. Alright, we have officially got everything we've needed collectible wise. We're going to go ahead and take on Ripto. Now during the Ripto fight, the trophy here is for using each of the attack styles that you can use. You'll be getting 3 different colored orbs during the fight, red, blue, and green. All you have to do is make sure that the third orb you pick up each time is a different color, just once for each color, and you will get it mid-fight as that happens. Now that we've officially beat the game, Spyro gets to take that vacation to Dragon Shores. Once you have every gem and orb, you do unlock the Super Flame power-up, which is the He's on Fire trophy. And that pops. And with that being said, we have one left to go, guys. The last trophy is called Giant Slayer, and it is for destroying all the Earth Shapers in Fracture Hills, which is just made so much easier once you get that Super Flame power-up, which is why we've left it for last. And there is the Giant Slayer trophy, and along with it, the Platinum trophy for Spyro 2. Alright, that's our second platinum on the channel. Let's go ahead and take a look at how we did. Platinum time, 4 hours, 37 minutes, and 19 seconds. Platinum rating, I gave it a 2 out of 10. A little more difficult than the last one, but not by much, mainly just due to the boss differential. Everything else pretty relatively the same. And lastly, our next platinum is going to be Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. Thank you guys for tuning in to my second video on the channel. We'll see you guys when Spyro 3's platinum hits.